Hello again. Here's our progress on the Runabout design we're making. Thanks again to CPT Specky on Thingiverse for sharing this. So the navigation impulse and beacon lights are all mounted and wired. Let me show you those to you. Let me turn off the lights. I'll turn it on. I'll turn these on. So here you can see the navigation lights up top here. Here we got the impulse lights here. Thanks Patrick for the feedback about these. I've added a breathing cycle for these engines, and they definitely look cooler now. I've got these mounted back here. Let me turn the lights back on now. The light blocks are working well. I've added a little bit of this liquid electrical tape to block a little bit of the lights at the edges too, and on the back of the LEDs, and that seems to do a good job. So the LED library I'm using for the Arduino is called JLED, and it works really nicely. It's very easy to configure and turn on and off. My one wish is for the breathe effect not to turn all the way off at its lowest point. You can see it does that on these. When it turns down, it goes all the way to black and then back up. And I'm wishing it would dim to be a configurable dim to maybe a quarter power. Would look more consistent with the show. I've asked one of the developers for suggestions on how to extend this effect for myself. The inheritance syntax in the Arduino's version of C it's a little bit mystifying to me. So we'll see if I can get that working. All right, so next thing was being able to turn on and off the LEDs for on the 5-volt line. So Arduino doesn't have a way to turn on and off the 5-volt line internally. It's all driven by external power. So a suggestion on the internet was to use this transistor, TIP120 NPN, or TIP120 maybe. Basically, you send it a signal which basically turns it on and off. So yeah, that's working now. Off and back on. It was easier than I expected to do that with this piece here. All right, so next steps are to mount the electronics, which is the Arduino and all the resistors and that transistor onto this little circuit board, which I'll mount. And I'm planning to mount on the back underside piece, and I'll want to be able to open this up to recharge it. So what I've done is to get some of these, what are called knurled nut brass threaded inserts. These are pretty small. Let's see. I don't know if you can see them. Well, here's the one I got from Amazon. But they're these really small inserts, and they have screw threading in them. And what you do, I made this this little holder for them, or mount. And what you do is you put it on top there and push down with the soldering iron gently, and it'll melt right into place. So then you can take this, and I drilled with a stepper bit into this this failed piece. This was some it's a piece that did not print right, so I'm just using it as a test. And so I just epoxied it. After I drilled it, I just epoxied that in there, and it'll stay pretty good, I think. There won't be a problem with that popping out, I hope. So, and then the last thing will be to hook up the battery. I have this LiPo one in this little power boost board, and I'm going to look at some examples on how to get that connected to the Arduino, and hopefully it'll be ready to fly then. Thanks again.